Hello there, Pastor Curt here, and today we're going to ask a simple question. How should Christians respond when there's tragedy? You know, this week in our nation, multiple shootings in several states, and it was just one gut punch after the other. And let me just say this first of all. Christians should respond. Christians shouldn't back away. We shouldn't actually hope it goes away. Sometimes we're so nice, we're kind of going, hey everyone, just get along and be nice, and we're hoping the problem will go away. Listen, we have the grace of God, and we have the truth of God, and hopefully we have the character of God. In my office, I keep this picture right here. You see this right there? It's an elephant. And I keep it there just because, well, whenever there's a meeting, whenever we're talking in between leaders and ideas and sometimes strong leaders, I always point to that elephant and I go, you know that elephant? It's the only elephant allowed in this room. Race relationships, well, it's the elephant in the room behind a lot of conversations in America. And we should respond. Now, the question is how? 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. It's a very familiar verse, but it's so profound. In it, God gives us an outline for an accurate response. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, seek, and turn to me, I will heal their land. You know, it's hard to do, but the first response is humility. And I think prayer and humility actually go together. When we bow our hearts to God and take the position of listening, we enter into that humble state. I believe this. Every sin is a sin of selfishness. Every sin is pride. The biggest limiter in our culture, in our world, in our dialogue is ego. It's not ideas. We've got a ton of great ideas. It's our own self-interest. What would happen if we humbled ourselves? Well, humility takes responsibility. You could tell when you're being humble when you stop thinking about what's wrong with another group or another person and confront your own sin. I heard someone say this week. He said, when we're more horrified by our own sin than anyone else's, that's when change will happen. Then it goes on to say that we should pray and seek. That's kind of going on the offensive. The question that Christians have to ask is, what should I do? Here at Bayside, we have a tutoring program. I just believe in it. I just think everyone should make some time to talk to a third grader who's under reading level. It's a long-term solution. It's a solution that's not about color of skin, but what would happen if every kid felt significant in school? Another thing we do is we give backpacks out to kids that are disadvantaged. It's just a way of saying someone out here cares about you. It's a way of providing significance. There's 1,000 different ways to do this. They don't have to be all huge and expensive and elaborate, but can you find a way to make someone feel significant, especially a young person? A good friend of mine, Kenny, this week, he said to me, he said, everyone in our country needs to think about how making young, teenage African-American men feel more part of the dialogue, more significant. There's going to be 1,000,000 different ways to apply that, but we have to apply that. There's too many people in our nation that don't feel like they're a part of the conversation. And then finally, it says turn. It's interesting, the last one is turn. And what that means is, once I realize what I'm not doing and the attitudes I have that are not good, I have to make a deliberate decision to walk away from them. Someone this week asked me, he said, well, why didn't your church do a prayer meeting at Ferguson? Or why didn't you do a prayer meeting at this other tragic event? Why did you wait until Dallas to do the prayer meeting? And I thought about it and I said, well, we didn't care to pray enough. I could have made excuses about the calendar. I could have said, well, you know, it all built up to a big thing. But the truth is, well, we were too busy. Now, I don't want to beat us up. We do a lot of good things, but there's a moment where you just kind of go, there's no excuse, there's no explanation. I got to turn from that. I have to become more empathetic, and I have to take action more deliberately. You know, if we were to humble ourselves, really pray, listen to God, get on the positive, seek, and then personally, not someone else, you and me personally, turn from the things we know are not right. Well, guess what? God wouldn't have to heal our land, because those actions would be the healing themselves. So think about it, just in a very individualistic way today. Are you humbling? Are you praying? Are you seeking? Are you turning? And see if there might come out some concrete application that you can respond directly to the difficult events that have happened in our nation.